going on, y'all? It's Bamba of the Orlando Magic. And y'all know what time of the year it is. It's March Madness. I want to start with the East for a lot of different reasons. I see two of the schools that I closely considered going to there, so I'm automatically inclined to pick the East. So I got Michigan winning this first game against Mount St. Mary, because I picked them earlier. I think Michigan, they have a strong interior presence, and they're just going to overpower them. You know, it's tough for the small schools to come in and play against a school like Michigan when they have, you know, such size. Then we got LSU versus St. Bonaventure. I'm going to go ahead and pick LSU. Shout out to Sharif O'Neal, my boy. And then we got Colorado versus Georgetown. I want to pick Georgetown because I want to support my fellow big man Patrick Ewing. But I did watch, Colorado play against, who was it in their conference tournament? Oregon State the other day, and they looked pretty good. They ended up losing that game, but you know, I got them winning that first game. Colorado, my handwriting is real sloppy, so forgive me. Then we got Florida State versus UNC Greensboro. I think FSU is going to win that one, especially after losing to Georgia Tech. They're out for blood. BYU versus Michigan State. I think Michigan State will win that. You know, legendary coach Tom Izzo. You know, he's good in the tournament, so I wouldn't bet against him. We ain't even got to really, we know what's happening here. I'm going to cross out Abilene Christian too. There we go. Just cross them out. They don't even, they're not going to do that. Uconn versus Maryland. I remember Jay Billis mentioning that Maryland is the team with the most losses in the whole entire field of 68. So I'm going to have to go ahead and go with Uconn. I watched Uconn play a couple times this year, and they looked pretty intriguing. I know my boy James Bouknight's probably going to go off in that game too. Alabama, Iona, as much as I want to see a small school win, you know, Rick Pitino, I think Alabama is going to roll Tide right all over them. So there we have it, that first round. Oh, that second round, excuse me. Now we have our second round set. We got Michigan versus LSU. I think Michigan will win this game, but I think it's going to be a close one. Might be wrong about that one, but I think it's going to be a close one. Colorado, FSU. I think FSU is going to pull this one out. Once again, you can't. You know, legendary coach, March Madness is what they built for. I think we're going to beat Michigan State. I saw them beat Duke earlier this year, but that win is meaningless because Duke didn't have the greatest of years. And then between Uconn and Alabama, I think Alabama has too much firepower. And I match up between Herb Jones, one of my buddies who's been playing out of his mind this year, and James Bouknight. I think he's going to play, you know, get some stops. I think James is going to go off, but I think down the stretch, my boy Herb is going to get some stops. Shout out to Big Jelly down there in Alabama. And now we have Michigan versus FSU. I think Michigan is going to win that again. Their size is just too much for them. I've seen FSU, they have pretty decent size with the, I'm not sure what country the kid is from, but he's a European kid on FSU who's, you know, pretty big, but Michigan has like 2 or 3 guys who are beasts down there on the block. And then we got Texas, Alabama. I think Texas, we have too much depth. And I'm being truthful here. I'm not just, you know, doing this because they're my guys, being real truthful here. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. So now we're at the Elite Eight. I'm gonna go ahead and go to another bracket. I think Gonzaga is gonna roll through this, to be honest. That is a team that is just good. They have everything. They got good perimeter guys, good post guys, legendary coach. I think they're gonna roll. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in, automatically just put them in the Sweet 16. We'll see where we go from there. Oklahoma, Missouri. I think Missouri is gonna beat them. I think they're too much to deal with inside. Creighton, UCSB. I think Creighton is gonna win that. Shout out to Mike's little brother. Thought Creighton was gonna beat Georgetown, but they didn't, so I think they'll be out for blood. Virginia versus Ohio. I got Virginia winning that one. I haven't watched them too much this year, but I'm gonna err on the side of the big schools. We got USC Wichita State. USC has, I think the freshman kid who, I forget his last name, I forget his name, but he can go. He can guard 1 through 5, and he's a game changer, so I'm gonna go ahead and put USC in there if we can stay out of foul trouble. Foul trouble sucks, man. Then we got Kansas, East, you know Kansas. We're not gonna disrespect Bill Self when he's done with that program. Then we got VCU Oregon. This one is a tough one for me. It's 7 versus 10 seed. Oregon, they brought in a big kid, Frank, from my high school, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and go with him. Hopefully he dominates. Then we got Iowa. I got Iowa rolling. I think it's gonna end up being Iowa versus Gonzaga, which would be a great matchup. And then we got, I put Gonzaga in the Sweet 16 already, so I got Gonzaga versus Virginia. Creighton is a high-scoring team, but Virginia likes to slow it down. And I think overall they'll play good defense and do what they got to do. USC Kansas, I got Kansas. I got Kansas winning that one. I don't know though. And then we got Oregon versus Iowa. I think Iowa is one of the teams to beat as a 2nd seed. They deserve that all year round. And then we got Kansas versus Iowa. I really want to see USC versus Iowa to see what the big kid, the big freshman can do against Luca Garza. I remember me and Luca in the same class, and you know, he's come a long way as a player, and I'm happy for him. I think Iowa's gonna win that game, and I think Gonzaga is gonna win this game, and it's gonna be Gonzaga versus Iowa, which is gonna be a great matchup because both those teams have some really good post players. All right, we got our elites, at least Elite 8 set on one half of the field. Let's see what we got here. We got Baylor versus Hartford. I got Baylor winning, another team that's just been rolling all year long. They've been pretty consistent. North Carolina, Wisconsin. I'm gonna just give a quick shout out to Cole Anthony. You know, I want to see his guys do well unless it's against us. Villanova, Winthrop, whatever it's called. I got Villanova winning even though they're missing Colin Gillespie. Colin is a bucket. He's always been a bucket. And then we got Purdue, North Texas. I haven't watched either one of these teams play. So I'm gonna just go ahead and err on the side of the big school. I got, Texas Tech, Utah State. I feel like Utah State are one of those teams that's tough to play against, but I'm gonna go with Tech because they beat us one time in the year, even though I hate them. Then we got Arkansas versus Colgate. I'll go ahead and pick Arkansas, big school. I like those matchups. Florida versus Virginia Tech. I got Virginia Tech winning that one. Scrappy guards and Wabisa Beatty. I got them winning that one. Wabisa's gonna do what it takes to win. Ohio State's been another team that's been pretty good all year. I don't even know who Oral Roberts is. And then we got UNC Baylor. I got Baylor. Sorry, Cole. Villanova. I don't think Villanova is going to end up beating Purdue. But actually, I think Villanova will pull it out. But I think that's as far as they'll go. So I'm going to just go ahead and put Baylor right there. Then we got Texas Tech, Arkansas. I'm going to go with Tech. Kills me to do that, but I'm gonna go with Tech. And then we got Virginia Tech, Ohio State. I think Ohio State is going to end up getting the better of them. And then I'm gonna just go ahead and put Ohio State, Baylor. That'd be a good matchup to see. And then we're gonna go ahead and head to the Midwest and see what we got here. Illinois, I got it fighting Illy winning a lot of games. They got great guard, great big, and Kofi Cockburn. Drexel don't stand a chance. I didn't put an upset in here yet, but I don't know. I think since everyone, they were cheated out of a tournament last year due to COVID, I think everyone's gonna come to play. So I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know. We got Loyola Chicago. I remember they were in a run a couple of years back, but I think Georgia Tech is gonna keep that momentum up from the ACC tournament after beating Florida State, and I think they're gonna win this game. Then we got Tennessee, Oregon State. I got Tennessee winning that. It's another really good team this year. They're ranked, I think, like top 10 pretty early on. I like Oklahoma State and Liberty. Oklahoma State arguably could have been a higher ranked team coming into the tournament, but they lost the Big 12 to them boys. And we got San Diego State, Syracuse. I like San Diego State, so I'm gonna go ahead. It's not even an upset. I like San Diego State. Shout out to Kawhi. West Virginia, I got West Virginia winning that. Clemson, Rutgers, this is my, it's not an upset either, but I got Rutgers winning that one. Shout out to my boy JY. Been playing well all year. It'll be exciting to watch them play. And I got Houston beating Cleveland State. All right, let's get to our Sweet 16. I got Illinois making it pretty far. It's a really good team this year. I think they won the Big Ten. They're gonna use that momentum and go strong. Tennessee, Ohio State. I think Tennessee is gonna beat Ohio State. They have a lot of depth, and I think they'll game plan their way out of that one. And I got West Virginia beating San Diego State. I got Houston beating Rutgers. Should be a really good matchup for JY because he is from Houston. I know he's gonna want to beat his hometown team, but I think Houston is too deep. Then I got Houston beating West Virginia. And then I got Fight Millie winning against Tennessee. All right, we have our Elite Eight matchups. We got Gonzaga, Iowa, Michigan, Texas, Baylor, Ohio State, Fight Millie, and Houston. I'm gonna go ahead and put Baylor in the Final Four. Team that's playing really well. I'm gonna put Illinois in there as well. Of course, I'm gonna put Texas. I think we have too much depth. And we'll get some strong guard play out of my guy, Matt Coleman. Gonzaga, I think Gonzaga is gonna edge that one out. They just got a lot. They have a lot in there. And now we have our Final Four. Gonzaga, Texas, Illinois, Baylor. Wow. All right. You know who I got. I think we're gonna beat Gonzaga. I'm gonna go ahead and write Texas in there. Cause we us. We them boys. Duh. And we got Baylor versus the Fighting Millie. I think Illinois is gonna be a deep tournament team. They're good, man. I'm telling you, they're really good. Really, really good. And then we got Texas versus Illinois, and that's gonna win. Hook 'em horns. We gonna win this thing.